Hello there. Thanks for joining me again. Thanks for joining me for another edition of your show, Q Sports on Ascent Television. Don't forget that this is where you should be, and this is this channel that brings you all the best as far as Q Sports is concerned. From Africa to the world, you can count on us. This is where we bring it on. So today is going to be massive as usual. We'll be looking at a great lot of things that we've prepared for the menu. We'll be checking out the Chinese Pool Masters that went down in Guangzhou Station, and also the fact that news, the game, talking about the game of snooker is bringing back some old tournaments. Great to hear that coming from the World Snooker Tour, British Open, Australian Women's Open, and all that. Many of them back on the calendar. Great new stuff we'll be looking at. And the fact that the World Pool Masters starts on the May 22nd. That's it, all through to the 25th of May. That's some of the things we'll be looking at, okay? We're going to break now for the news updates for you. And when we come back, the program starts. Don't go away. Welcome back. It's still Q Sports, and don't forget that our social media handles are there for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as well. We are there. We need your feedback. Reach out to us, follow us, like our page, contribute. We need, the conversation. We need the engagement really, so that, and also don't forget that you can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Ascent TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's be friends, so that you can know whenever we drop new content, especially your favorite Q Sports shows. So just we hope you will follow us. And don't forget that, because we are also collaborating with the likes of the Snooker and Pool Players Alliance, the SPPA. Yeah, we also, of course, the SPPA, we also are collaborating with them too, so you can also be part of them by following them on Twitter, on Facebook too as well. So that's it, okay? So you can follow them, and because if you follow us, you will get to know about the latest as far as what the Snooker and Pool Player Alliance, the SPPA, what they are up to. Very soon you will hear from them. Count on what I tell you here. You can take it straight to the bank. Okay? All right, let's get down to the business of the day. Joining me to look at issues that are happening as far as Q Sport is concerned today is the usual suspect. Joachim Idada joins me again. Joe, good to have you.
It's nice being with you as usual.
Yep. Joe, so many interesting news today. We will start from the Pool Masters, China Pool Masters. Yeah, great news. And the fact that there is a connection between anything Chinese pool now and the SPPA, which you are the president. And the good news is that the 2021 Chinese Pool Masters just went down the event number 1, Guangzhou Station, and the winner has emerged. It is Zhang Yubo defeating Zhao Ruliang by 19 in the best of 19. So, it's 19 to 15.
Yes. So, that's first to 19.
First to 19. That's it. So Zhang Yubo got there first, and he's the champion.
Yes, the important thing in the Chinese Pool Masters is for us to understand what the whole tournament is about, and how does it benefit. I want to use the word benefit. How do we become part of it?
Okay.
First, the Chinese Pool Masters is a series of events that takes place in China, and the game they are playing is Chinese pool. Chinese 8-ball pool. 8-ball pool, yeah. Because remember, we have 9-ball pool. Yeah. We have black ball pool. We have 8-ball pool. Yes, and
there's also 10 now, right?
It's not very popular, but you have it in Eastern Europe. So good. So for Chinese pool, last week we did discuss that the ICA, the International Chinese Able Pool Association, and the World Pool Billiard Association signed an agreement which says that recognizing the ICA as the official governing body of Chinese pool worldwide, which was a good one. And now they have come back, and the Chinese Pool Masters the Joy Chinese Pool Masters is one of the events that is organized annually in the calendar of the ICA. It comprises a couple of events. The winner of those couple of events, of each of those events, get to now play in what I call the grand final. Now, the 2021 Chinese Pool Masters Event 1 is the first event of the Chinese Pool calendar. Now, in this particular event, the Masters event, normally they invite like 64 players. Of these 64 players, you have 24 Chinese players, and the balance 40 players is invited from around the world. That is for countries that have adopted Chinese pool as one of the type of cue sports or pool they play. In Africa, we have 4 countries that has adopted Chinese pool. We have South Africa, we have Uganda, we have Kenya, and now we have Nigeria. The good news about it is very soon in Nigeria, Fiji Ventures Limited has partnered with Joy Billiards to push and promote the sports in Nigeria. The Snooker and Pool Players Alliance is organizing the qualifier series, which means that of the 40 players from all over the world, when it gets to the crunch time in the final, from all over the world, all the 40 players that will be selected to be invited to come and play in the grand final, Nigeria now has a chance to have 1 or 2 or 3 of his own being invited depending on the quality of play. So that means that the Joy Billiards Pool Tournament, which we are proposing, or qualifiers, which we are proposing to hold in Nigeria, is going to give us the opportunity of producing players that can go and play in the Chinese Pool Masters. So for this first event, this is the first event after the pandemic. After the pandemic, it was majorly the Chinese players that played because of the travel restriction. But I believe as the global travel begins to open up, then we will now have more foreign players coming in to play in the Chinese Pool Masters. And this particular first event, it was, like I said, it was predominantly Chinese people, and Zhang Yubo played Zhang Ruliang in the finals, and it ended 1915. One thing that is peculiar about this kind of pool, you can see it is long format. While most of the times in Nigeria, players play, they say best of 3, best of 6. You can see you'll be a non-starter. It's
going to tell your
endurance. You burn out. You burn out. You burn out. So it tells you that this is not just game. This is sports. Because it will test your mental strength. It will test your physical strength. It will test your patience. It even tests your doggedness. Because when you see the Chinese players play, you see the level of performance is high standard. And because remember that it is a master series. It's a master series. So most of our Nigerian players which I would call that play street pool, might find it difficult to survive in this environment. So it is very, very important right now, for those of us in Q Sports, those of us managing and organizing Q Sports in Nigeria, especially the Snooker and Pool Players Alliance that I represent, it is important that we begin to preach to our players that there is need to start looking at pool, not from the short term, but the long term. That means that it is now, there's a possibility for us to get what we call career players. Career players are either masters or professional players. So if you're a street player, there's no way we can classify you as a career player, no matter how good you are. So that is the message right now. Because in 2021, we have the SPPA is going to organize 5 qualifier series. 5 qualifiers. And that 5 qualifiers will help us select the players that will go and play, that will put forward, let me use the word, that will put forward to play in the final, in the major events in China. So every of the events, we are going to get an invite, and the invite is going to tell us. And the good thing about it, Joy Billiards Sports Promotion has agreed that they are even going to sponsor the players to come and play in this event. But first of all, we must get you to qualify, and when you qualify, Joy Billiards must be sure that you are up to par. Okay. So you will not just come there and while other people are playing, their game is this high because of the way you play. I don't want to use certain.
I think it is true. We also have to cut some of those players, Nigerian players, some slack, because this is new. This is the first. If not, this partnership is the first of its kind. It never happened before.
Yes.
And the ICA are magnanimous enough to open their door to Nigeria.
And to Africa.
And to Africa, yeah. Because why I'm saying specifically zeroing into Nigeria now is because I feel that, okay, if you see Africa, I think you can compare the level of the South African exposure.
No, but Jide, I want to also
the quality
make a point here that in our dialogue with Joy Billiards, we have also proposed to them of the need for us to have what we call a form of an African tour.
Good.
So that
African tour. Well, fantastic.
Nigeria, South Africa, Uganda and Kenya players can come together and have the opportunity as part of the calendar to play. So that they can, so we don't just jump from ground zero and jump to the top of the skyscraper. There's always the tendency that will fall.
Good. Because I'm also looking at that. Because I'm saying that we have to call themselves slack. They will at some point play against the best in the world. So we shouldn't look down on them because it's a lesson. One good thing I feel that there's so much to be learned. Let them take advantage of this opportunity. Measure, see the level of their skills, compare it to benchmark it against the best in the world that they will be meeting when they travel outside. And when they come back home, they will be the best form of testimony for those who still feel they have arrived, though. A player who goes to play at the Masters comes back home. Maybe he's beating blue and black and he comes back home, he sees what he has experienced it. He comes back home to tell fellow players, you need to buckle up. Man, we have not started. That's the best form of my. But when you guys that are administering the sports are telling them, it will look as if, who are you exactly? Who are you?
Come and play with me. Come and play with me. Like what they say most of the time when we talk to them, they say, who told you can play? Come and play with me and let us see whether you can survive. But it goes beyond that.
When you go to a tournament, it's that sport. Well, that's what international tournament gives you. Gives you opportunity to measure yourself up with what is obtained or what obtains in other client and come back home to appraise yourself. With your coaches, your technical team to answer some questions.
Yes.
That where are you? Where do you want to go? in the
and how
short
far
time,
do you want to go in the long. And it's even good to mention it here that the good news about it that it is not even most likely that we'll soon start the qualifier series because, like I told you before the program, the equipment are already on the way to the ports in China there, and very soon we will receive the equipment here in Nigeria. And once in the next, I don't know how long the shipping tour is, how far. Once the equipment have been cleared and delivered to a couple of locations, we will announce the calendar for 2021, the qualifiers.
And that means it should be around the clock.
Round the clock.
I just looked at, sorry that I'm deviating because we'll still come back to that. I just looked at, now that we're talking in the studio, the World Snooker Tour has 19 tournaments.
Yes. Yeah.
For before the year
comes to the end.
19.
Yeah, 19, yeah.
Excluding, that is what is on the calendar.
Yeah.
They still, according to the World Snooker Tour, they are still open to
add some more others.
That is how to measure. That is how to know the quality that kind of environment could bring. Like you said, at that point, by the time this game grew, those who will take it up as a full-time job will know. And those who want to do leisure will know.
Yes, they'll know the difference. But Jide, it's good to mention it also here that, like you have just mentioned, the calendar. Now we know annually in Nigeria, under the Snooker and Pool Players Alliance, we are going to have the 5 qualifiers annual. Sacrosanct. Every month, we are going to have a top 4 tournament amongst the highest ranked players of Chinese pool every month. That we have 12 months in a year, and that means we have 12 tournaments. That is to keep the players playing. And that means if we add the 5 plus the 12, we already have what? 17 players. We don't want to also add the other challenge tournaments that will come. But the ones that are official that will come, starting 2021, we are going to start to have what I call at least 17 tournaments of Chinese 8-ball pool held in Nigeria. And there's effort to also add now that of this tournament that are going to be held in Nigeria, from there, that will be the launching pad for our players to see whether they can get into the African tour or they can go to China.
Wow, fantastic. That is it. A great initiative there. And we want to commend the VG Ventures, the Snooker and Pool Players Alliance, the Joy Billiards.
I want to thank Asen TV.
Well, of course, we'll be here doing our job. Ours is just to keep promoting sports as well as promoting Q Sports, because we feel this is what we have the passion for. We should keep promoting it. Let's move on. Let's move on to. Don't forget that when the time comes, we will launch. Joe just let the cat out of the bag. We will launch the equipment when it lands on the show to bring you the quality visuals of how some of this equipment on the show. We will look at it. There will be most likely we might be doing a groundbreaking live on the show. That's it. So that's it. Let's move on. Let's talk about the British Open. I just said something about the British Open, the fact that they have the British Open is returning to the World Snooker Tour calendar after 17 years. Wow. The last time it was held was 17 years ago.
Yeah, 2004, 2005, when John Ingis won that particular event. What we will say about it, one, is that the event is a professional event, like we always say. So for me, I always want to look at how does it tie to us. It tells us that there's a career opportunity and our players must begin to look at it long term. And it will hold in Brighton. It will hold in Brighton, in Brighton Center. it's a ranked event, like I said, and
the
our
fact
players.
That it will be the second world ranking event.
Yes, it's going to
just
be
like this SBA also want to rank, which is
yes, like I told you, yes,
the importance of ranking.
Of ranking, it's important we do ranking. Like I've always mentioned to you, that the difference between a game and the sport is the ranking. For game, I can challenge you and you beat me and I beat you and you walk away. But for sport, we have to rank who is number 1 and who is number 2 and who is number 3, like you do in boxing. So if you have a ranking, number 10 cannot go and say, I want to do a challenge. I want to go and challenge number 1. For sports, you don't have that liberty. You don't have that liberty. For game, you can do whatever you like.
For the sake of clarity too, as far as it relates to the Q sports, if there is ranking and you want to start those qualifiers, you don't expect the best ranked player or some of the top 4 to start at the preliminary stage.
Yes, it's not that what I'm saying.
They can't do an all-comers.
It's not an all-comers business. You have to prove your worth. And the ranking is one way of proving your worth and letting us know that you are not only good, that you are tested. You are not only good, you are tested. And that is what I think the British Open, and for me it's good. It's good to have. Look, there's no way you can talk about snooker and you won't talk about British. Because there's no way. So that's the home of snooker.
In fact, they are the first to even return. After the lockdown, they are the first.
Now,
and they keep doing. It's either you're moving from
I remember they did the world
to Gibraltar. You're just around that.
So everything, when it comes to snooker, everything tends to take place. The big things that take place around, not Europe, around Britain, around England, around Britain. All the big events. So another beautiful thing about it makes me now realize that if you're a Nigerian snooker player and you want to be a professional player, I want to eat from the pie, then there will be need for not only for you to be the number 1 here and good here, there will be an opportunity for you to go and you must stay around there so that the more you play, the better you are and up you can go in the ladder.
Wow, fantastic. All right, that's it. We want to wish them all the best. By the way, August 16th to the 22nd, that is when the British Open we hold and in Brighton. So let's keep our fingers crossed. We will bring you all the 411 as far as the British Open is concerned. Okay, from one Open to the other. This time around is the Australian Women's Snooker Open. It's also returning to the World Snooker Tour calendar. It's the World's Women's Snooker Tour for the first time since 2019 when it took place and this time around, the last time is returning 2021 season, and this year it will take place in October 2nd to 5th.
Yeah.
Women also. So that brings us to the question: how do we bring the women folk back?
In Nigeria, it's a pointer. First of all, the tour, the Women's Snooker Tour, is a developmental program under the World World Professional Billiards Association, World Professional Billiard and Snooker Association's program, and it is a partnership. There was an agreement between the WPBSA and the WST, that the World Snooker Tour, to develop the women snooker amongst the elite snooker tours. And that is what it's all about. Because so far, we have 2 players amongst the women that have dominated women's snooker, and that is Rain Evans and Ying Ong Yi. Sorry for murdering the name. From Hong Kong. It's called Ying Ong Yi from Hong Kong. But Rain Evans has been the most successful female player that you have in snooker. She has won the World Championship 12 times, in 12 occasions in 2005. And in 2020, she was awarded an MBE by the Queen of England. So you can now see the importance, that's the point I'm making, the importance that that is being put on women's snooker to develop the sport. And one way of doing it is to ensure that it can come back onto the main calendar. And that is what they have just done. And Australia will be hosting it. So for us here, for those of us, the Professional Q Sports Association of Nigeria or the Professional Q Sports Society of Nigeria, Basan, all of us, there is need for us to let the women know that snooker or pool is not just a male sport. Women play the sport. So we invite them to come on board, join us, join a club. If you can't join a club, visit a pub, visit a bar, visit a bar that has it and play.
The website,
go to a hotel.
Of course, if you need a way around it. I think the snooker and pool players.
Yes, the snooker and pool players alliance. You can go to the snooker and pool players alliance.org.
Okay, exactly.
Snooker and pool players alliance.org, and there you will see locations where you can get our affiliate clubs, our affiliate bars, where they are, and you can go there, join, and from there you can begin a beautiful career of snooker or pool.
All right, that's it. So once again, snooker and pool players alliance.org, snooker pool play. You look at it. It will be there on the screen too. At some point, you can go log in there. You get all the information about how to join a club or where to go play, get yourself involved in the game, and that's it. Today, this week, we will do the next, which will be our player of the week. Our player of the week this week is the man who dominated the Crucible for 2020, the Crucible for the year 2021. His name is Mark Selby. Had a fantastic tournament, and we need to showcase him on the show today for those who are looking for a role model.
If nobody celebrates our own, if we can't celebrate our own, nobody will celebrate them for us. That's what I'll say. And this is one of the ways we are celebrating them.
All right. Give you a lowdown, or should I say, I'll just give you a brief Mark Selby. And when we come back, the program continues. Yes, welcome back from that. Mark Selby had a fantastic tournament at the Crucible, and I hope we'll be able to repeat that. We'll be coming to defend that in 2022. Let's hope he can. Let's hope. Wish him all the best. I wish him. From there, let's come back from snooker. Let's come back to pool. And we will be looking at the World Pool Masters starting on May 22nd. Coincidentally, we record this program is being recorded today, May 22nd. But Joe, looking at the World Pool Masters now, I just discovered some things that we have players from all over the world that will be featuring from the US, majorly from Europe, and the fact that like the men will be separated from the boys at some point. The fact that the first day of the championship, of the Masters, the first day of the tournament is just for the preliminaries, not those players that are not top ranked, just to face each other before the big guns begin to come out on the second and the third day.
Yes, that's something I've always advocated. That so without a ranking, you understand? Without a ranking, it will be impossible for you to do that which you have just observed. But if you have a ranking system, then it is possible for you to say that to differentiate the boys from the men. But now, I don't know whether we can say in pool there is boys or men, or we just have athletes. Because when we have people like Kelly Fisher and Alice Fisher playing amongst the men, so we can just say pool players, right? Now for the World Pool Masters, we have 24 players from all over the world being invited. Then amongst those top players that are normally invited are players from countries like Spain, Greece, Japan, Great Britain, Russia, Australia. We saw them during the World Cup of Pool. We saw them during the Championship League Pool. Those players.
Calls the question every day, anytime, when you talk about how to develop sports on the continent of Africa. Anyway, this is where the cookie crumbles today on the show, Q Sports. Once again, don't forget, you can link up with us. Let's keep the conversation coming, keep it going. You know, the feedback mechanisms are there for you. Take advantage of it. Facebook, you know, Ascent Television, we're on Facebook, Ascent TV, on Twitter, tweet at us, tweet us, and of course, you can follow and like our channel on YouTube too, so that you can get the best of content as far as some of those things we're dishing out every week to you. Yes, so that's it. They'll follow us on Twitter, like our Facebook page, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And there are other things, when you talk about the Snooker and Pool Players Alliance, LPPA, on their social media handles there, you can also follow them. Many of them we've got. So for you to get into, you get into the groove for Q Sports. This is your one-stop shop as far as Q Sports is concerned, and I am your host. I must say thank you once again to Joe for joining me on the show today. Thank you very much. We can do this some other time. Until then, have a fantastic time.